Phil Donahue on the line, best known as the creator and the star of the Phil Donahue Show. Donahue with the first tabloid talk show. Actually, I believe, Phil, that's the longest-running show is still today in history. Isn't that right?
I think it is. I'm Cal Ripken.
I'm Cal Ripken. You are Cal Ripken of the talk show host, no doubt about it. And promoting now the critically acclaimed documentary feature film Body of War. It was named Best Documentary of the Year by the National Board of Review. The film, which you, sir, Phil Donahue, directed, produced along with Ellen Spiro, opens in Chicago.
Finally opening Chicago, Century City. Looking for you there, Johnny B.
Well, I will tell you, sir, I've already seen the movie, and I can tell you something right now. I don't even know. The movie ended last night. I was watching it. And it was I had so many emotions running through my brain after watching that. I didn't know. I was sad. I was upset. I was mad. I couldn't, and I laughed. I mean, the Tomas Young, the guy, well, you know what, Phil? Go ahead and explain to these people what this movie's about, because it's kind of like the war in Iraq through the eyes of this Tomas Young.
Well, first of all the people who worked on this project would be very pleased by your review. We do, but we understand. This film will make you cry. It will also make you laugh. What you see here, Johnny, as you saw last night, this is a drama that's taking place behind the closed doors of thousands of homes in this country. Young men and women who've come home with life-altering injuries. These are injuries that turn the whole family upside down. And we are not seeing this. And we still have people coming home with not only, if not in a pine box that you're not allowed to take a picture of, but with very, very hideous injuries, worse than in any other war.
Tomas Young, the story of his life, he goes over there, he sees the, 9/11, he sees it, it bothers him. On the 13th, he goes, you know what, I'm going in, I'm going to enlist, I'm going into the Army, I'm going. 5 days in Iraq, boom, shot through the back, right through the spine, and 5 days in, he's injured. And then you follow his life. It starts out with him dressing, and man, do you get into his, and you just realize that there are like 28,000 more people like that out there.
Amazing.
That we don't know about.
Amazing. That's the key. Tomas Young, you're right, was there in Iraq for 5 days. By the way, he wanted to know why he was going to Iraq. He signed up for Afghanistan.
That's right. He was told that he was going to fight in Afghanistan. That's correct. Where Osama bin Laden would be found, in the caves and whatever, right?
Yeah. Now, if you put your arm up above your shoulder and drop your hand as far down your back as you can go, take your hand all the way down and touch your spine. That's where the bullet came through Thomas's spine.
Right.
Thomas is paralyzed from the nipples down.
Yeah.
Thomas can't walk. 20-something-year-old kid, prime of life, bowel and bladder problems, nausea every morning. He has urinary tract infection. I mean, his pills have pills. He has erectile dysfunction.
His pills have pills. That's right. I couldn't even keep track of what he had to put in his system on a daily basis, and sometimes he can't himself.
Right. This is not a take your girl to the movie. But we do believe our film is there's a lot of inspiration up there. You see a mother who is looming over her son, trying to help him come back to some kind of normal life. You see this whole family struggling. You see a younger brother go off to Iraq. I mean,
after he sees his brother come back injured for life.
Imagine.
And the fact that, Phil, that the mother has to go through this. That was such a sad part when she's saying goodbye to her son, as the second son, going back to Iraq after the first one sitting right next to her in a wheelchair.
Right.
Yeah, and she could have stopped it.
Imagine standing next to your son in a wheelchair, saying goodbye to your second son, who's going to the same war that injured your first son. By the way, as you know, Johnny, if you watch that show, as you say you did last night,
yes,
throughout the film we weave the Iraq War resolution as debated on the House floor in October 2002.
All right.
And it's a study in what you can do if you scare the people.
All right, can we discuss now, when you talked about the different emotions that I went through watching Body of War, because what you said there is where I began to go, oh, wait a minute. Listen, and I'm the least political guy in the world. Everyone listening knows that. But this is about the country. This is about human beings. So we're talking about something you have to pay attention to. And you watch the president say something, and then you watch the Congress and the senators repeat almost verbatim what he said. Pay attention.
Tonight I want to take a few minutes to discuss a grave threat to peace. The threat comes from Iraq.
The threat posed by Iraq grows with each passing day. It's a danger that grows every day. Every day, Saddam Hussein grows stronger.
His capabilities become better. The longer we wait, the more dangerous he becomes.
You weave that through with every topic the president brings up. Later, the Congress and the senators bring it up. That's what the voices you're hearing afterwards, if it doesn't make sense to you. Go ahead, Phil. I mean,
those are White House talking points. Those were the White House Iraq group was the group of, these were advertising agency warriors. These are the people who name our invasions,
right.
Shock and awe.
That's right.
They wrote, a smoking gun will become a mushroom cloud. And these senators took these talking points and read them verbatim.
Verbatim.
And this was 3 weeks before an election in October 2002. I'll tell you, as you saw, Johnny, the level of hysteria was reached when Ted Stevens of Alaska, in the middle of our film, stands up on the Senate floor and he says the following: history will show that the nations that stopped Saddam Hussein saved the world.
That's right.
Saved the world.
That's right.
These are grown men. I mean, it's unbelievable what you can do if you scare the people.
It was so weird because my hero out of that was Senator Robert Byrd. I mean, this guy was like, he's looking in the camera and he's saying, listen to me. I'm telling you, don't listen. Don't send your kids to war. Just think this through. All he's saying is just think it through for a second. Don't rush to judgment here. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. And you brought up the smoking gun. Listen to this.
We cannot wait for the final proof, the smoking gun, that could come in the form of a mushroom cloud.
When there is a smoking gun or a mushroom cloud, we have waited too long.
We cannot wait for the smoking gun. A gun smokes only after it has been fired.
The gun smokes only after it is fired.
A gun smokes after it's been fired.
That smoking gun would be a smoking city.
And the smoke of a nuclear blast would mean that we are too late.
Oh, man, I love that. I love the guys that at least try to, move it around a little bit, fix it up, mix it up a bit.
Well, you got it full blast, Johnny B. As you said, led by Robert Byrd, and you're right. He looks into that camera.
Oh, yeah.
I plead with the American people. Let this leadership know that you don't want this resolution rammed through the Congress before the election. And he's Shakespearean with the arm in the air. The life of your son may depend upon it. And he could not get his Senate colleagues to go along.
They wouldn't even pay attention. And his hand is shaking, and he's saying, no, no, no. But I think what makes this human, what makes this real, that it's through the eyes of this Tomas Young, and it brings it right down to some realism. And it's like Born on the 4th of July, Coming Home for Us. It's sort of like those movies. When you saw those movies, you went, oh, wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But this is real. This isn't Tom Cruise.
Well, this is the harm in harm's way. This is a heartland kid, Kansas City, Missouri. He's got a stepfather who's a ditto head.
And by the way, because a lot of people are going, well, it's the left and the right and this and that. Wait a minute, you show those sides by that guy laying on the couch, his stepfather laying there going, I love Bush. I love everything he stands for.
Bush is going to keep the terrorists from coming to Kansas City.
That's what he tells his wife. He goes, honey, he's going to keep them from coming to Kansas City.
Right.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and what we're trying to make clear is that this, our document, nobody's claiming it's better, but we are different. Nothing goes boom in our film. There's no archival footage. There's no narrator. I'm not in the film.
That's right.
Think that ought to sell an extra couple.
You're walking through Iraq with a mic in your hand.
This is what America isn't seeing. These are the patriots who have sacrificed for this war, and they've done so silently and out of sight.
It's unbelievable. It really is so emotional, the whole thing. And when I look at a couple of different people in that movie, and I just go, wow. One, of course, Tomas Young. Anybody, I've always said this, that goes to war, whatever it is, but they go. They're there. They're taking a bullet for us.
Absolutely
They're taking
true.
A bullet for us, so you got to support the troops, and you got to support what it is they believe in.
And we got to have more than language on this and pretense. Oh, the troops, the brave troops,
yes.
The value. Oh, they're so wonderful, our troops. These troops come home and the VA doesn't call them back.
Well, yeah, there's one point right there. Now they come back. America, we support the troops. You're all fantastic. Thanks for taking a bullet. Guess what? The guy can't get his blood tested. He can't get anybody at the VA to pay attention to him. He's got to go back 1,000 times. He waits and he waits and he waits. He gets nothing from these people. They want you in, but they don't care when you're out.
Well, you certainly did watch this film.
Yeah, I'm fired up. I'm telling you.
Johnny.
I was watching this thing, and I was getting upset. Then I was getting sad. Then I was watching listen to one more thing here.
We've also discovered through intelligence that Iraq has a growing fleet of manned and unmanned aerial vehicles.
There's no such thing. This was all a hype. This is unbelievable. Iraq had nothing to do with 9/11, and we have over 4,000 Americans dead and 1.2 million Iraqis. This is awful. Thanks
See it when
so
you get
much.
a chance. Thanks a lot, Phil Donahue. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you. You're a prince. You'll go to heaven for this. I thank you for the opportunity to pop off on your platform here.
To pop off. Body of War. Bodyofwar.com. Thanks a lot, Phil.
Thank you.
Phil Donahue.